Welcome, friends, for the next lecture, that is lecture number 12 of IoT, that is Internet of Things. So we are in Sensors and Network chapter, that is chapter number 2. So before starting with this lecture, I will recap what we have learned in the last lecture. So in the last lecture, we started with soil moisture sensor, that is two conductive plates, and that sensor will give you output in the two formats, like it will give you in the analog format as well as in the digital format as well. And we have seen about interfacing of that particular sensor with uh, microcontroller units, that is Arduino unit, and also you can interface that with the Raspberry Pi unit as well. Okay. So after that, we have seen about communication sensor, that is Bluetooth sensor. So in detail, we have studied about Bluetooth HC05U module. So we have seen about how we are going to connect that Bluetooth HC05 module with the Arduino. What are the different operating modes of Bluetooth sensor? That is, first one is a command mode, and second one is a data mode. So for that, there is an enable pin available for a Bluetooth module. Also, we have seen about how the Bluetooth is going to communicate with Arduino as well as with the Raspberry Pi as well. So how you can interface that with Arduino, that is USART, that is Universal Synchronous or Synchronous Receiver Transmitter, with the serial communication mode. We are going to interface Bluetooth module with Arduino. Also, in the last lecture, we have seen about DTMF decoder. So DTMF stands for dual tone multi-frequency decoder. We have learned about the IC number MT8870. So there are four states of output with two different frequencies bands, like lower frequency and higher frequency, and how you're going to interface that particular module with Arduino we have seen in the last lecture. Okay, so this is about a recap of the previous lecture. Now we'll move forward in this lecture, lecture number 12, that is sensors and network. In this, we'll see first a magnetometer sensor, that is a compass sensor. So magnetometer sensor number is HMC 5883L. So the magnetometer sensor number is HMC 5883L. It measures the directions and magnitude of the Earth's magnetic field, and hence it is used for low cost compassing and magnetometry. So many of the phones supports the magnetometer, that is compass applications. So with that compass application, it requires magnetometer. So they uses this very small module. So this is a very small IC, that is HMC 5883L. Okay, so this is a low cost compass, and it measures the Earth's magnetic field value along with X, Y, and Z axis in milligauss to 8 Gauss. So unit of magnetic compass is Gauss. So it measures the value of Earth magnetic field in milligauss as well as in a Gauss. It can be used as a compass to find the direction or to find the direction of heading of the device. So both the things it will do, like finding the direction, and it will locate the north direction, it will locate rest of the directions as well. Okay, it uses protocol as I2C for communication. So again, I2C is a two-wire protocol. And another thing is it requires VCC and a ground. Also, it's a two-wire protocol. One is SDA, another line is ASCL. So it uses I2C protocol. Magnetometer uses I2C protocol for communication. Okay, so this is the communication diagram for magnetometer with Arduino. So here it is Arduino board. So here it is Arduino Uno, and with this two particular pin, these are the I2C reference pins. So one pin is SCL, so it's connected to the SCL pin. Another pin is SDA, that is connected to the SDA pin. Okay, and VCC is connected here to the plus 5 volt, and the ground line is there, and then the ground line is connected to the ground line. So this is very simple connection diagram. Only 4 lines are required. One is VCC, ground, SDA, and SCL. Okay, so it is connected. Now we'll see the programming of this, how we are going to interface this, and how we can write a program for HMC 5883L. Okay, so this is the program for HMC 5883L. So here we are using Arduino.h. It's a header file. Then it uses a wire programming mode. That's why we are going to include hash include wire.h. And then this is one of the important line where we need to include HMC 5883L underscore simple.h. So this is the API. The standard APIs are available. You will get this particular file on GitHub. You can download this file from a GitHub, and then This is API available, and with this API we are going to interface magnetometer sensor with standard functions and definitions. Okay, so here we need to create one object of this. So how to create object? So for that, HMC 5883L underscore simple compass. So compass is the object. So we are going to call all the functions within this particular file by using this particular object known as in compass. Okay, void setup. So this is setup. We write serial.begin and serial.wire. So it uses wire protocol because it uses I2C. Compass dot set declination set declination at 0 minus 0 23 west. Okay, so this sets up the declination angle. Also we can have compass dot set sampling mode as a compass single. Okay, so there are different modes available, so we can set a single mode for this. Also we can set the compass scaling. So compass set scale as compass scale into 130. So there are 130 is a default scale, so we can change the scaling. Scaling is essential to control the sensitivity of the magnetometer, so we can change the sensitivity. There are different parameters available for scaling: 088, 130, this is the default one. Also we can write it 190, 250, 400, 470, 560 and 8110. So there are different parameters available. You can change the sensitivity of a magnetometer. Also we can do a compass dot set orientation. We can set orientation as horizontal and where axis facing horizontal. So compass underscore horizontal underscore x north. Okay, so this is the location how you fix your IC and all. Okay, so this sets the orientation, and based on that orientation it gives the output. Then void loop. So this is the main program. So in this void loop, float heading is equals to compass dot get heading. So get heading means it will read the locations how the your IC is fixed and in which direction it is to be, and then it is going to print the output. Set serial.println heading /t stands for tab. It will give one space as a tab, and then it will print the heading. So serial.println heading and serial.delay of 1 second. So for every 1 second it's going to read the heading of the compass, and it's going to read and it's going to write the heading on a particular serial window. Okay, so this is about a magnetometer sensor HMC 5883L. Okay, so this is about a coding steps how you are going to program HMC 5883L with a Arduino. Okay, we'll move forward now. Next is stepper motor. So stepper motor is very important. Thus for accuracy we require to use stepper motor. Stepper motor is a brushless DC motor. So very first thing about stepper motor is it's a brushless DC motor. It controls the signal. Control signals are applied to the stepper motor to it rotate in a step. So we need to apply a pulses to the stepper motor so that whenever it receives the pulses, and it will rotate accordingly. So there are three operation modes of stepper motor. One is a half stepping, full stepping and wave mode. Half stepping mode, full stepping mode and wave mode. So we'll see what are the different patterns or signaling patterns of stepper motor to rotate the stepper motor in half stepping mode, full stepping mode and wave mode. Okay, its speed and rotation depends upon the rate at which the control signal is applied. So we need to apply a pulse, and based on the pulse signal, that is based on that control signal, that pulse signal is known as a control signal. So based on that control signal, rotation and the speed is dependent. Whether it has to rotate in a forward direction or whether it has to rotate in a backward direction, that is dependent on your control signal or application of your pulses. There are various stepper motors available in the minimum required step angle. So again, the step angles is very important. The stepper motor is made up of mainly two parts. So internal structure of a stepper motors we are going to see. So it's made up of two parts. One is a stator and another is a rotor. So based on this position of stator and rotor, there are different parts available of there are different types of stepper motors available. So stator is a coil of winding and rotor is a mostly permanent magnet. So either stator is a coil or a rotor is a coil. So generally in a stepper motor, stator is a coil winding and a rotor is mostly a permanent magnet. Okay, permanent magnet or a ferromagnetic material. So there are two main parts of the stepper motor. One is the stator, another is a rotor, and in that the stator is a coil of winding and rotor is a permanent magnet. Okay, so this is about the stepper motor in detail. So we'll see what is the working principle of a stepper motor, how the stepper motor works. The current flowing through the winding creates a magnetic field. So current flowing, this is this is a magnet current flowing through the winding. So winding is rotated on the stator, and we have magnetic field is generated. Current flowing through the winding creates a magnetic north and south pole on the coil. So it creates a magnetic field. Here it is a north pole and here it is a south pole, and the direction of the current is toward this side. Okay, if we wrap our right hand finger around it, the coil in the direction of the flowing current through the coil. The thumb direction indicates the magnetic pole of a north pole. Also, the thumb direction indicates the north pole. Okay, the current direction is also this side. So current direction is on north side. So current is coming from this side to this side. All right. So this is about the stepper motor working principle. We need to wound the coil on a stator, and because of that, the current flowing from that particular wire coil, the magnetic flux induces, and it creates a north pole and a south pole. Okay, so again, working principle: stepper motor rotates in the steps. So again, very important thing about stepper motor is it rotates in a steps. So to understand its principle, consider the logical diagram of its construction given below. So there are four coils. So coil A is available here, coil A1. Okay, so starting off the coil A to A1, so current will flow from this side to this side, and here it is a coil B and the B1. So current will flow from this to and come out from here. Okay, both the coils are not connected. There are two windings A and B on the stator of a motor. So this is a stator of a motor. The permanent magnet with north and south pole. Here it is a permanent magnet with a north pole and a south pole. Is poles of a rotor is placed in between. Okay, so this is a rotor, and these are coils are stator. The basic arrangement of stator and rotor is as shown in the figure. So this is the basic arrangement of stator and rotor is available as shown in the figure. Next, what will happen? So whenever we apply a current, because of that, whenever we pass the current from the A, so this generates when we pass the current from this direction towards this direction, what will happen? The north pole will generate, and this north get repelled, so that it rotates like this. Okay, again this side will shift like this, and again when we pass the current from this side direction to this direction, so this direction to this direction, what will happen? Again the north is generated here, because of that it rotates again. So this will continuously rotate. Okay, so this will continuously rotate, and you will get the rotation of the rotor from like this. So this direction is for rotation of a rotor. Okay, so we need to change the current direction, so that again it will going to rotate. Okay, so every time it goes on rotating like this due to the current flowing through the stator. Okay, so this is about working principle. Then how we are going to calculate a step angles for a stepper motor. So step angle is the minimum angle that the stepper motor will cover within one step or within one move. The number of steps required to complete one rotation depends on the step angle. Okay, step angle is the minimum angle that the stepper motor takes with one step, and number of steps required to complete one rotation is depends upon that particular step angle. For example, if your step angle is a 45-degree, then 8 steps are required to complete your one rotation as shown in a figure. So step angle is your stepper motor position is at this particular position, and if it rotates by one click toward this side, okay, so it's a 45-degree. So another 45-degree is required, another 45-degree, another 45-degree, another 45, 45, 45 and 45. Total 8 number of steps are required. So this is first step. So this is second step with the third step, fourth step, fifth step. Then this is about sixth step, seventh and eighth. So there are total 8 steps are required to complete one rotation. Okay, if your step angle is 45-degree. If your step angle is 1 degree, then it requires 360 steps to complete one rotation. If your step angle is 2 degrees, then it requires 180 steps to complete one rotation. So that depends on your step angle, and the step angle gives very important thing, and also the step angle is very accuracy. It will provide the accuracy. Like suppose someone wants to rotate your rotor at this particular position, and after rotating the directions are like this. then this angle, so this particular angle we need to calculate, and this angle you have to pass as the steps, and the stepper motor is very accurate that it stops at that particular angle. So many of the application, the it uses stepper motors for giving more accurate results of rotations. Okay, so again, there are different classifications of stepper motors. So based on the windings, there are different arrangements and classifications of the stepper motor. So stepper motors are classified depending on the construction and winding arrangement. Okay, so first thing, depending upon the winding arrangement. So depending on the winding arrangement, there are unipolar stepper motors, and second category is a bipolar stepper motors. So these are broad categories of stepper motors. One is a unipolar stepper motor and second is a bipolar stepper motors. Depending on the constructions, so there are different types of constructions of stepper motors. First type is that is permanent magnet stepper motor, okay, PM stepper motor, variable reluctance stepper motor, and third is a hybrid stepper motor. So hybrid come up with both the properties of permanent magnet as well as variable reluctance. So there are total 5 types of stepper motors. One is unipolar stepper motor, second is bipolar. So this unipolar and bipolar are differentiated based on the winding arrangement. Next, based on the constructional arrangement, there are 3 types. One is a permanent magnet stepper motor, second is a variable reluctance stepper motor, and third is a hybrid stepper motor. So in altogether 5 types of stepper motors. Okay, so we'll see details about each type of a stepper motor. So this is first type of a stepper motor, that is unipolar stepper motor. The diagram shows the windings, how the windings looks like for the unipolar stepper motor. In the unipolar stepper motor has a center tap winding. For the unipolar stepper motor, the center tap winding with 5. Okay, if both centers are connected internally, or 6 wires as shown in a figure. There are 5 wires or 6 wires in case of center tap stepper motor. In a case of unipolar stepper motor, generally these center tap connections are connected to the power supplies. So this is very important thing. These center tap connections, open connections, are connected to the power supply to flow for current connection. Okay. Next, by providing the ground path to the winding leads, by providing the ground path to the winding leads, we can allow the flow of current through each half of the coil, which creates the magnetic poles. Okay, the current is in a unidirectional or unipolar motor. Okay, so this is unidirectional, that's why it is known as a unipolar motor. Here it is a coil. So A to A1, one coil is there, and there is a center tap, that is A common. Here B to B dash, there is one coil, another, and B common available. Here it is a rotor. Okay, and here these are the stators. Okay, so this is the connection. This is popular configuration is used where the motor supply is connected to the center of both the windings, and a ground to each windings end is controlled through the motor driver circuit of microcontroller. So we are going to control A bar, B bar. These are the bits. So here we need to pass either 0 0 0 0 or 1 1 1 1 depending on your direction. Whatever the direction, we need to turn the rotor. Okay, so this is about unipolar stepper motor. We'll move forward now. Now bipolar stepper motor. In the bipolar stepper motors, the no center tap connections are there. In the bipolar stepper motor, no center tap connections. Normally it is of 4 windings, 2 windings, that is 4 wires, and as shown in the figure. So this is A and A bar. Okay, so this is A winding, and this is a B winding, B bar winding. We have a rotor A and B. Current flows through a full windings of a stator. Then the current is a bidirectional and a bipolar stepper motor, that is we need to alter the current direction through the winding to alter the magnetic pole of the winding. So we need to alter the current direction so that the motor will rotate in both the directions. Okay, this configuration requires control of current directions flow through each winding to control alternations of magnetic poles on a windings required to attract the and repel the respective rotor poles. Okay, so this is about bipolar stepper motor windings. Okay, it looks like this. Next step is permanent magnet stepper motor. Permanent magnet stepper motor, in that the rotor is a permanent magnet that is fixed, and there are the windings available. Okay, in a permanent magnet, it is used a rotor as an electromagnetic stator winding with electromagnetic stator winding. The rotor and stator of these stepper motors are not teethed, so there is no teeth available on the this permanent magnet stepper motor. Simply given stator and rotor windings energized to produce a magnetic north and south pole. So this north and south pole are produced uh, already fixed one, and this north and south pole are produced on this particular windings. The cause of rotor to rotate and align with energized poles. Now by energizing next winding, rotor will step down towards the next steps like this. So every time we rotate this particular thing and we energize these coils either with A1, B1, and then depending on this energized, so suppose this is N and N will repel, so it will rotate like this. Same again, N will available, again we energize it, it will becomes N, again it rotates, again similarly it rotates like this, similarly it rotates like this. So this is the way the permanent magnet stepper motor works. Its construction looks like this, and it's having permanent magnet rotor and stator windings. Next is variable reluctance stepper motor. It is a non-magnetic core of iron rotor is used. So here the rotor is non-magnetic. So this rotor is non-magnetic, but the core iron is used as a rotor. So iron is there. Okay, and variable reluctance stator is electromagnetic winding around the rotor. So all the windings are available on the rotor. Rotor consists of teeth. So this rotor consists of teeth as shown in a figure. So teeth are attracted towards the energized windings as a magnetic path is generated around the coil and the rotor. The rotor experiences torque and aligns with the energized coil with a minimize of the flux path. Okay, so this is about this, and this teeth are attracted toward this particular magnet north and south pole, whichever coil we are energizing. So these teeth are attracted towards that, and according to that it rotates like this. Okay, so there are teeth available on the variable reluctance stepper motor. Next is a hybrid stepper motor. It's a combination, as I already explained, the hybrid motors are combinations of permanent magnet motors, okay, and variable reluctance stepper motors. So it is a combination of both, okay, permanent magnet as well as variable reluctance. The permanent magnet is used inside the rotor. Here, the permanent magnet is used inside the rotor, and the iron core outside the rotor. So the permanent magnet is used inside the rotor and iron core outside the rotor. The permanent magnet forms a north and south pole on the rotor. So it produces north and south pole on the rotor. Also the hybrid stepper motor, it has two rotor cups as shown in the figure. There are two rotor cups as shown in the figure. So these are the rotor cups. So rotor cup 1, rotor cup 2 consist of permanent magnet teeth. So these are the permanent magnet teeth, and these are not aligned teeth, okay, and these are aligned teeth. The hybrid stepper motors give higher torque and can achieve smaller step angles. So due to the hybrid, it's having a teeth as well, and it's having a magnet as well, and due to that the output of the hybrid stepper motors are very accurate, and you'll get it with it's possible to get a small step angles with the hybrid stepper motor. So this is the advantages of hybrid stepper motor. So as a figure shows, here it is the rotor cups, two rotor cups are there, and these are the magnets. So here it is a north south pole, and red color indicates the north pole, and geared teeth arrangements are there, and teeth arrangements are repelled, not in a line. Okay, so this is about hybrid stepper motor. So there, as I told you, there are three types of rotations of stepper motor. One is a full step sequence, half step sequence, and wave mode. So what do you mean by full stepping sequence, half stepping sequence, and wave mode? So here it is a full stepping sequence. You can observe that. So 4 steps are there. So if at the first step these two coils are energized, and it's the position of rotor is this, second position of rotor is this, third position of rotor is this, and fourth position of rotor is this. Okay, and you can look at this, which are the coils gets energized. Okay, in case of a half stepping, the rotation is like this. So there are 8 different steps: 1, 2, 3, 4, then again 5, 6, like this step, and 8 step. So there are different sequences available for these particular steppings. So either in a half stepping mode or either in a full stepping mode as well. So here it is a full step sequence. So we have 4 steps. So here are the coils connections A, B, C, D, and whenever the input is 1001 is the first step. For second step, the input is 1100. So you are going to change this one. For the third step, 0110, and for the fourth step, it is 0011. Okay. So there are the four steps available for the um, for rotation of the stepper motor. Okay. So one first step is 1001, second is 1100, third is 0110, and fourth is 0011. So again, we need to use the same code sequence in the program for full stepping mode. Also in the half stepping mode, there are 8 different sequences. So it's 10001, 1000, so 1100, 0100, 0110, 0010, 0011, and 0001. So there are different eight steps angles for half stepping as well. Okay. So there is a full step and half step sequence. We'll see the interfacing diagram of this stepper motor with Arduino. So here the Arduino will not produce that much current to drive directly a stepper motor. So to improve the current, we require a current driver IC or a motor driver IC. So here we are using motor driver IC named as a ULN 2003. So ULN 2003 is a motor driver IC which is used for driving of the motor. So here the ULN 2003 is having inputs. So in 1, in 2, in 3, and in 4, that is connected to the Arduino pins, pin number 7, 6, 5, and 4 respectively. Again, the ULN 2003 IC module is having 4 outputs, out 1, out 2, out 3, out 4, and that is connected to the coils of the stepper motor. And here it is a 6-wire stepper motor. So 2 wires are shorted together and that is connected to the +5 hole. Okay, and the stepper motor looks like this, and it rotates with the step angles. Okay, so we'll see the programming of stepper motor with Arduino. So here is the program of stepper motor with Arduino. So with the very first stage, we need to set up a pin mode. So here we have connected that to the pin number 4, 5, 6, 7. So these pins are output pins. So if we configure that particular pins and an output, pin set up pin mode 4 comma output, pin mode 5 comma output, pin mode 6 comma output, and pin mode 6, 7 comma output. Then void loop. So it's rotated for I is equals to 0, I is less than 12, I plus plus, and there are different combinations. So digital write 7, high, low, low, low. So 1 0 0 0, 1 1 0 0, then 0 1 0 0, 0 1 1 0, 0 0 1 0, 0 0 1 1, 0 0 0 1, 1 0 0 1, 1 0 0 0, and this is for forward rotation. And for the reverse rotation, we need to give another signal like low 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 high and opposite directions. So this is about opposite directions. Okay, so there are 12 step sequences we are passing, and depending on that it rotates. Okay, so this is about programming interface of stepper motor with. Okay, so this is about stepper motor interfacing. Okay, next is servo motor. So again, servo motors are very good to operate. Again, we need to pass the angle for the servo motors. So what the servo motor contains? Servo motor is a DC motor only, and it contains a separate microcontroller unit inside it. So this figure shows a small servo motor, that is SG90, with very low payload. But what happens? This contains an internal microcontroller unit. We need to send the pulses to that particular microcontroller unit. It recognizes the step angle and it rotates to that particular angle. So it's having gear arrangement inside. So here it is a gear assembly of a servo motor. That gear assembly is inside the servo motor. You can look at this. Okay, and there is one microcontroller unit as well, and a small DC motor is available inside it. So there are 3 wires for connections. These 3 wires are unique, and the color codings are fixed. Red color wire is you need to connect it to the VCC. Here it is the red color wire. Brown color wire we need to connect it to the ground, and the third wire is orange or a yellow. So these color codes are fixed. So third wire is orange or a yellow. In this case, here it is a yellow, and that wire is for signal. So there are three options that we can connect: red to VCC, brown to ground, and third orange or yellow line to a signal. Okay, so this is about servo motor. We need to pass the pulses and the PWM. So here it is how we can pass the different pulses. So PWM pulses for the servo motor. We need to give a pulse width, and based on the pulse width, it turns the angle. Like 1 millisecond pulse, 1 millisecond pulse train for servo motor to position of a left. So servo motor position is on the left. 1.5 millisecond pulse. When we pass 1.5 millisecond pulse, at that time the servo motor is at 90 degree. So you can have the servo motor train position as the mid range. And when we pass 2 millisecond of a pulse, then the servo motor is at a right. So 2 millisecond pulse train servo motor position is at a right. So we can rotate this particular servo motor with left, right, and this. So we can pass the angle and accordingly it will rotate. Okay. For 1 millisecond it is at a left. 1.5 millisecond it is at 90 degree. 2 millisecond it is at a right position. So here it is a code for interfacing of servo motor with Raspberry Pi. So here we need to configure the PWM for Raspberry Pi. Here first line is import rpi.gpio as a GPIO as IO. So this is the function where calling for a header file for GPIO of a Pi. Import time, so it will import the time. GPIO.set warning false, so we don't want to display the warnings on the screen. That's why set warnings to a false. IO.set mode. Here again there are three modes of operation. One is a board mode, second is wiring pi mode, and third is a BCM mode. So we are using here a board mode, and based on the board mode it's going to connect with the board. So then IO dot setup 40 comma IO dot out. So I'm going to connect the servo motor pin, servo motor pin, that is pin number, this yellow color pin to the 40 number pin. That's why it is IO dot setup 40 comma IO dot out. Then here it is a P is object created. P is equals to IO dot PWM 40 comma 50. So here it is a 50 is the frequency, and I'm going to connect it to 40. Okay, then P dot start 7.5. So it start as a first angle while 1. So it's going to rotate at a 2 angles. One duty cycle we are writing P dot change duty cycle to 7.5. Time dot sleep for 1 second. And again I'm writing P dot change duty cycle to 2.5. So there are 2 angles available for this particular servo motor, and then the time dot sleep for 1. So every time it rotates 0 to 90, 90 to 0, 0 to 90, 90 to 0, and so on. Okay, so this is about stepper motor interfacing in a Python. So we write the Python code, and we are going to interface that stepper motor with servo motor with Pi. Next, how you are going to interface servo motor HG90 with Arduino. So here it is a instruction schematic diagram for interfacing of servo motor with HG90. Here it is a VCC. So this VCC line is connected to the red color wire. Ground is connected to a ground, and then yellow line, this is a data line, and this data line is connected to pin number 3. So we need to configure that in the code, that we need to tell that in the code that we have used 3 number line, third line for the signal of servo motor. So we'll see the coding of servo motor. Here it is. We have included the function known as servo.h. So this gives you the conversion of your angle into a PWM pulses. So we need to pass the angle. So it's going to convert that angle into PWM pulses. So integer servo pin as a 3, because we have connected the servo signal line to the pin number 3. Here we need to create one object, servo is equals to servo 1. So we have created one object known as servo 1. Void setup servo 1 dot attach servo pin. So we need to attach that object to the pin. So we have it will take an argument as 3, because we have connected that to pin number 3. Here it is, number 3. Then next void loop servo 1 dot write 0. So this makes 0 degree angle. Okay, delay for 1 second. So this waits for 1 second. Again servo dot write 90. So it writes 90 degree angle. Again delay for 1 second. Servo dot write to 180. So it rotates to 180 degree. Again delay for 1 second. So like this you are going to rotate the servo motor based on the angle. So this angle to pulses calculation will be done in this particular header file, that is servo.h. Okay, so this is about servo motor interfacing with Arduino. Okay, so we'll stop here for the today's lecture, and I'll be available for 5 minutes for your question and answers here. So if you have any questions or queries, you can type in chat box. So chat box is available. Okay, so we'll stop here. Okay, thank you for listening, and those who are not subscribed my channel, please subscribe the channel. Thank you.